Marietta Mahoney, and this week's Aqua tip, we're going to be using the kickboard, we're going to be suspended, and we're going to twist. Check it out. Okay, so I'm holding the side of the board and I'm using both sides of it. So I'm pushing the board over my hip, but I'm also pulling the board forwards. Now this requires some grip strength, my friends. You need to hang on to the board and you'll feel the board moving inside your hands. So I sort of release my grip where it's easy and I push where it's hard. So when I'm pulling, I don't need to hold on with the base of my hand. When I'm pushing, I don't need to grip that much with my fingers. And that allows me to have a little bit of release because you have to hang on to this board to perform this movement pattern. It's a leaf. So the board's going to be in the water, like almost vertical, and you're pulling it out to either hip. I'll demonstrate facing this way. Okay, so what body part is working the most? My arms. I know it can be a false perception when you're doing this on pool deck because you think, oh, it's my abs, but it's actually your arms to be able to create that movement. And the secret to this is you've got to push and pull at the same intensity, which you can actually do pretty well with the board this way, so the body doesn't move forwards or move backwards. You want that push and pull to be of equal resistance in both directions. Meanwhile, you're trying your best to keep your feet together behind you, but they will separate, and you try to bring your knees all the way up towards your torso as you do this exercise. Yeah, I really like it. It's not cardio, it's definitely strength. And so you'd mix this in with something that perhaps you don't have to hold onto the board with, perhaps an exercise where you're just having your fingers rest on top whilst you do something kicking to give yourself a little bit of a break with your hands. But otherwise, it's a great exercise and I hope you try it. And that is this week's Aqua tip. This fantastic upper body exercise is actually a little tricky to demonstrate on pool deck. Of course, you can do it like this, but I don't think that that's a really good way to demonstrate an exercise like this one. You're going to have to get down on pool deck. Now, what I do recommend is if you've got a slippery pool deck, this is going to be easier. But for example, I've got carpet here. So this is a bit like being in a situation where you have, a pool deck that's not slippery. What I would recommend is that you have something that you put underneath your feet to be able to help slide your legs in and out, like a piece of plastic. Now, this is just a bag, but you can get the bigger shopping bags. They're amazing. You can use them for all sorts of things. I sometimes put it on pool deck when I know the water, it's wet, and I can have something dry to sit on. So I'll pull it out for that, and then maybe I put my wet clothes in it afterwards. Yeah, those plastic shopping bags are very versatile. But let me demonstrate what you do with this. So you want to demonstrate the legs first. So ask everyone to hold the board like this. They're going to get down, so they're going to get down on the pool deck, and your feet go on the plastic, and then you bring your knees up and back. Now, if you've got gliding discs, they work very well as well, but if you have a tiled pool surface that normally would be slippery, then this one's easy. So you just let your feet slide. But you need a little bit of core strength here, my friends, because you need to be able to pull your knees up and be able to hold yourself up on pool deck. And this is why I really encourage instructors who only teach water to do other forms of exercise and not just to rely on teaching your class as being your form of exercise, because teaching aqua on pool deck doesn't make you fit or strong, okay? It won't make you fitter or stronger, and you are more likely to get injuries. So hands on pool deck, I've got my feet on my plastic bag, bring the knees up, out, bring the knees up, out. I also suggest that you demonstrate this front on to your participants so it's a little bit more obvious how you're bringing your knees up and out to the side. Then you grab the board, and this is where you ask them to pull from one hip to the other, pushing your hip out of the way so they can see that clearly. And then the next part is you explain how you do need to grip strongly, but when you're pushing forwards, use your fingers to brace the board, and when you're pulling back, use your palm of your hand to brace the ball so that your fingers have a little bit of a rest, right? So push, pull it back, push, pull it back. So as you go forwards, you're going to be pushing, but you can actually release your fingers slightly. So make sure that you're releasing your hand or part of your hand with the forwards and back action. Yeah, there's a lot to teach in this, and you're going to have to break it down into those three components. Legs first, then demonstrate the arm action, then explain the fingers. Now remember, do not get caught out and say you're going to feel this in your core or your abdominals, because yes, that's what you will feel when you're teaching this on pool deck, but it's not what they will feel in the water. It is an upper body strength exercise. So just keep remembering that when you're cueing the activity. And that is this week's Aqua tip.